Many of the everyday tasks in the many industries of C. Brown involve powered equipment or machinery. By their very nature, these kinds of equipment can be dangerous. The very power that makes them useful can be harmful if misused. The key is to use powered equipment or machinery with respect. Powered equipment has some sort of energy or force, power, behind it. It can be electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, or even compressed air. Energy can also come from springs, spray cans, or even liquids. Harm can come from a sudden, unexpected release of power from these energy sources while you're using, servicing, cleaning, or fixing them. Items that are part of everyday work often exert a force that can catch, crush, and even cut body parts. That's why there are very specific procedures to prevent the unexpected release of energy. These procedures together are referred to as the lockout tagout procedures. The most common power in powered equipment is electricity. Lockout tagout guards against being hurt by the power of electricity. By law, no work may be performed on electrically powered equipment unless and until the equipment is shut off, separated from its power source, and drained of any remaining power. The power source for most of our powered equipment is the common electrical plug. If you have to clean, service, or fix any piece of powered equipment, you must disconnect it from its power source before you perform any maintenance. Keep the plug from this equipment near you and in your control at all times so that someone else cannot mistakenly plug it in while you are working on the equipment. As an extra precaution, after you've removed the plug, try to turn on the piece of equipment you plan to work on to make sure you have the right cord and plug. After you have done this, please return the switch to the off position. If you have to walk away from your task for some reason, you should tag the plug with one of these special tags that are available at all locations. Take a tag with you before you begin any work. Tags should be located near the electrical circuit boxes at your location. Tie the tag at the plug to alert others that the equipment has been unplugged for a reason and should not be touched. These tags should also be used if a piece of equipment is broken or out of service. You should always carry a tag in your pocket before unplugging and cleaning any electrical equipment, just in case you may have to leave unexpectedly to assist a customer or a fellow employee. And if you see a plug lying around, don't make any assumptions. Never connect it to a power source until and unless you have thoroughly checked to see that no one is servicing or cleaning the equipment to which it belongs. Connecting power to a piece of equipment that someone is working on could cause serious injury, even death. If you found someone has begun cleaning or working on a piece of equipment but has left it unattended for a moment without a tag, politely remind them to put one on. In some cases, powered equipment may not be connected to the power source by a plug at all, but wired directly into a power source that is controlled by a breaker switch. Examples of these types of power devices are gasoline pumps, cooler compressors, heating oil pumps at bulk plants, and exterior signs and lights. Again, the lockout tagout procedures must be followed. When maintenance to these kinds of equipment is needed, their power must be shut off at the power source and locked out so that no one can accidentally turn it back on. If you should see a switch that has been locked out and tagged, please leave it alone. Someone is working on this equipment even though they may not be in view. Supplying power to a locked out switch could be just like plugging something in when one of your fellow employees is working on the equipment. Very dangerous. Let's review what you should know about powered equipment safety, the lockout tagout procedure. Do not work on any kind of powered equipment until and unless you have separated it from its power source, either by unplugging the equipment or locking out the switch. When you have separated it from its power source, try to start the equipment to make sure you have disconnected the correct power source. Keep the plug in your possession at all times or lock the control in the off position. Let everyone know what you are doing by attaching a tag, whether you have unplugged a piece of equipment or locked out a switch. Do not re-establish power by connecting a plug or unlocking a breaker switch unless and until you have thoroughly checked that no one is working on the equipment and that the equipment is in good working order. If you are not certain if a piece of equipment should or should not be plugged in, the best measure is to leave it alone and check with coworkers or supervisors. Electricity and other sources of power can cause serious injury. Use the lockout, tagout procedures whenever you have to service or clean any equipment, and use precautions of all kinds whenever you use such equipment. Sometimes, injuries can occur while you are doing familiar everyday tasks. Be aware of the world around you and be careful. Your well-being is important to the company because nothing is more important to the business of C. Brown than the people of C. Brown.